Like I said, another video about what I feel like talking about. Um, this one is once again, it's still not what the hell. Like, I'll never remember what it was. It'll hit me randomly. Like the next time I do it, that's when it'll be like, I need to make a video ASAP. Um, but this one is about Nvidia GeForce now. Now, this is the thing. This video is more from a business perspective than anything else, but it is how and possibly why uh, Nvidia may literally take down the gaming console industry in a sense. Like and this isn't even about PC Master Race, this, that, or the other, because I mean, in a sense, I mean, no, it's really not. It's really not. This is why I'm saying this. First of all, a little bit of background on Nvidia GeForce Now. And I'm going to break it down for those who don't know what it is. I would highly, you should go look up a YouTube video, just Google Nvidia GeForce Now, GeForce Now. Or this is actually how I found it, was PUBG or playing PUBG on MacBook. That was pretty much how I found it. Most people with a Mac, and this is new to me, this is my first Mac, technically, you would have to, basically be running Windows on your MacBook, and I know that's what a lot of people do, and I was like, you know what, as faithful and loyal as I've been to Windows my entire life, having this MacBook, I don't want to actually run Windows on it, because then I'll never learn the ins and outs of this damn MacBook. And I like it so far. There's a nice, it's just a nice laptop. But then again, do I like it because it's just a new laptop in general and it runs buttery smooth? Or do I like it because, actually no, this is the best way to look at this. Do I like it because my older laptop is just so old processing wise? Whereas it could have been, I could have got a new MSI laptop and got the same performance. Or do I like this MacBook because literally this is an experience I can only get from using this MacBook? And that's what I don't really know yet. Like, is this literally because whatever the MacBook is running is just so clean? Or is it literally just my stuff was just so old and out of date? So, besides that, you look up GeForce Now and you realize it's essentially like cloud gaming. It pretty much is cloud gaming. Their plan is this. We want people to essentially be able to enjoy all of these computer games that you would really be able to truly play with $1,000+ rig. So something like basically to truly play a PUBG with, at relatively good settings and whatnot, you're probably going to build $1,000 rig, because a lot of times you're not going to put a 1060 into a computer that got 4 gigs of RAM, and is running i3, you're probably not doing that. You're building a PC that will last you at least the next 5 years. In all actuality, what's really happening is, and this is how I feel like it goes, you get the PC, you want to get a good motherboard, the thing you want to make sure you get that's actually nice at the end of the day is either you're getting i5 or i7. You're not really getting i3. Most of the time you're going for i7 though. So you want that CPU to be great. the general things that can be upgraded, like RAM and GPU, those you're not too worried about, because like I said, those are things that can be upgraded over time. They can be upgraded over time. If 5 years go by and you notice that, you know, what you were once able to run at ultra, you're now, games have come out, new games in that line or series, a new game came out and you can only run it at like medium at best. Now you're like, okay, might be time to upgrade. But that's almost like, when you really think about it, five to I'm looking at my PS4 right now. The general typical console generation usually is about between 5 and 10 years for sure. So between 5 and 10 years, that's a for sure. You can probably stick it right in the middle at like 7. 7 years, I want to say, is the general typical length of a console generation nowadays. So your gaming PC, I guess, long story short, you want it to last 5 to 7 years. And the thing is, the funny part is, people, PC Master Race, this, that, and the other, they say all of that. But it's like, dude, I wasn't born yesterday. You're going to upgrade your hardware probably the same time I'm going to buy a new console. And the funny part is, my console will cost less than that upgrade. We all know a 1080 right now. I mean, and this is the one dope thing about the internet. You can literally, there's plenty of resources all over the place that will scour the internet to try to find you the best possible deal on a 1080. But I want to say the general consensus definitely is mid to high 400 range, but in all honesty, 500 something bucks. 500. PS4 Pro does not cost $500. But like we all know, there is a difference. There's a quality difference. When you get used to playing at 60 frames per second, you kind of want to stay at 60 frames per second. And I understand that. Trust me, I do. What Nvidia GeForce Now is giving you is basically, they've tested this, a bunch of people, different people have done this, because they're currently in beta right now. Well, they're still in beta right now. But this came out last year. And I'm like, I was completely sleep on this. Completely sleep on it. My girlfriend's laptop, which is actually a gaming laptop, we had to have gotten that in 20... Was it 15 or 16? Can't remember. But like, her stuff can't even run that game, which is crazy to me, because it's a Nvidia GTX something, and it's like it can't run it. It's like it just don't work. At the most, and this is like, I always forget that laptop GPUs aren't even equivalent to their desktop counterparts. So a laptop GPU is more equivalent to something lower. Like, it won't be the same exact number, which is very misleading. But the fact that that's a gaming laptop and running PUBG on low still sucks. Like, that's where it's like, yeah.
That laptop is like 3 years old though.
I don't think your laptop's 3 years old, really.
Yeah, it is. I bought that laptop in 2015.
Was it 2015?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it probably needs
So
to
in
be
reality,
updated.
it's
Because, like,
2 years old.
even when I run AutoCAD can barely. AutoCAD is like.
I mean,
struggles.
yeah, she's saying AutoCAD was trash on there. So
like it would say like the graphics weren't at the level it should be. So like it probably needs to be updated.
All right, so yeah, we're talking about basically a 2.5, 3-year-old gaming laptop that, I mean, it's what best for freaking running League of Legends on at this point. And it's a good gaming laptop. Like, it's not like I'm making it seem like, oh, it's super trash. I wish I would have actually had the actual specs of it. But it's not actually a low-end gaming laptop. This is $1,000-something laptop.
But how much would it update to a graphics card?
You can't even do it.
What?
You can't.
Why not?
Let me focus on my video.
Oh, that's a video?
Yeah, I'm making a video. Let me focus.
Oh, damn.
But yeah. And that is actually another important thing for those who don't know or realize. This video is for you guys. You can't, unlike PCs, you cannot upgrade the GPU in a laptop. The only real upgradable thing is the RAM. Maybe the disk drive. I don't even think you can upgrade that either. So laptops are kind of one-stop. Actually, no, that was probably the wrong term I was going to use. But they hinder you. They hinder you in the sense that the upgrades that can be done, there's not really much that can be done. But like I was saying, what Nvidia GeForce now is doing, and they ran these tests on these laptops, you know, literally a $200 laptop. You know, some dude got I think one of them, he took a 2009 Mac, a 2009 MacBook, and ran GeForce Now on it, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Latency. Long story short, all this comes down to internet. It all comes down to internet. You would probably want to be hardwired in. That's kind of common sense. But even if you're not, you probably still should be able to get a pretty damn good gaming experience. And like I was saying, if I go back into to think about, you know, why did you say, oh, this can be a threat to actual consoles or even gaming PC culture itself, is the fact that you won't have to build that $1,000, you know, that $1,000+ PC to play all these games. Their pricing plan, if I remember correctly, is going to be something, as of right now, it's set up where you can choose between a 1060 or a 1080. So you would essentially, I don't want to say you would remote in, but you would be that basically cloud gaming and getting the display on your screen. But either you'd be choosing a computer that's running 1060 or 1080. In doing that, the price is different. Literally, and I have it broken down right here. Where is it at? It's like, long story short, you're getting a 1060 would be, okay, for 20 hours of gaming. So 20 hours. I'm not sure if those are the increments you can just purchase it at. I'm assuming that's how it might be when it comes out. You know, you're doing this at increments. Or they may just do it literally straight up. Every hour you play, they may have something calculated down to the minute. I don't know. But most likely, for the most convenience to keep this simple, it'll be an increment type of thing. Or it may just straight up be, you know, they do it like that. So that way you actually have to pay for it beforehand. and you can use it at your own discretion. But 20 hours, you have 20 hours at 1060 or 10 hours at 1080 for $25. That's literally running you either 125 or 250 an hour. But let's say we're just doing the 1060 for the 20 hours for $25. Long story short, all you end up really doing is $1.25 by however many hours you're playing a game. If you do the math on this, let's say over the span of a year, you end up spending, you could literally spend $750 to get 600 hours of on-demand gaming. $750, you still wouldn't really have that PC rig that you were trying to build in the first place. You wouldn't really have it. This service, for those who are casual gamers, for those who are like, man, I'm only going to play a couple hours a day or just on the weekend in general, this is going to be perfect for people. People are not going to go out of their way to buy a pre-built $1,000 or $1,500, dollar PC. I'm like, if you telling me I can run this on my $200 laptop and all I need is my Steam account and to own the game myself, long story short, this will most likely be a viable option for people. Because I'm trying to think. To put 600 hours into a game or games in general, you got to be playing a lot. You got to be playing a lot. And if your schedule is not that of somebody who can play a lot like that, this is perfect. I have my PS4. Rarely do I actually play games during the week or even barely the weekend. So if I'm going to throw $25 to get 20 hours so I can play with my friends and play PUBG and this, that, and the other, that's perfect. That'll get me literally probably 2.5 weeks worth of gameplay right there. If I'm only playing on the weekend, so we're talking about Saturday, Sunday, and I'm only playing 4 hours a day, or let's say I just choose to play 8 hours on the Saturday, that's 16 with 4 hours left over. So yeah, that just lasted me essentially 2.5. I just got a nice amount of usage out of that. But if you do game 24/7 all day long, I mean, yeah, you probably want something else. But even then, this allows you to be able to play these games without, blowing a lot of money on that rig. This allows you to play those games without having it, without having that $1,000 PC. Simple as that. The other industry that this actually threatens are those locations that have, not barcades, because barcades are literally bar arcades. People who go to barcades are specifically wanting that arcade experience while drinking, while having a beer. Usually folks around my age, 25 through 30, chilling on a Friday night, about to go play some older game. So barcades aren't really affected. But those places that their entire business really is selling you a video game experience, and that includes PC gaming, they're affected by this big time because they spent a lot of money to be able to have that essentially $1,000+ rig that has that 1060 or 1080 in it. And they're charging you a certain amount for game time. But now it's like, why would I leave my home to go do that when me and my homies, like, well, yeah, both of us don't have PCs that can run it. Well, now I can just drop 25 and we can play for days on end from the comfort of our homes. So businesses like that are already established and out there, they're going to be threatened by this. But the only way they're threatened by it is if Nvidia actually runs advertisements for this service, does things like that. Other than that, people may not actually know. But sooner or later, folks are going to find out. Like, something like this is huge. It really is. So, other than that, like, this is something that I do believe it will threaten console sales in a sense. It'll threaten the purchasing and building of these, $1,500 PCs. I mean, in the long run, if you really still want that PC, you really still want that PC. But you can do the math on how much you can get out of doing this, to be the equivalent of how much you would have spent to build that computer. Like, the math is pretty easy and simple to do. So, yeah, I'm just letting folks know. Do not be surprised within this year or going into next year, or if you're somebody who was sitting there thinking, oh yeah, okay, this is my grand scheme design. We're going to open up this gaming lounge type of place. And now you're like, yeah, let's backtrack on that. The one thing that will still keep places like that relevant is the simple fact that it's an entertainment type of place. You and a bunch of friends are going there to chill, food, good times, this, that, and the other. But other than that, you might not be so quick to do that now. And that's what sucks. So, peace.